Good afternoon and welcome to this meeting of the Board of Public Works and Safety for the City of Huntington on July 22nd, 2024. We'll call the special meeting to order, beginning with a roll call.
Mayor Strick,
Present.
Danielle Albertson,
Present.
Megan Bombrake,
Present.
Anthony Lasinikia.
Present.
Thank you. Having established a quorum for the conducting of business, we'll move along to consideration of minutes from the previous meeting of July 15th, 2024. Is there a motion to bring the minutes to the floor for discussion and adoption?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the minutes as submitted. Not hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of adoption of the minutes as submitted. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries and the minutes are adopted. First item under old business, we have the storm sewer easement release and dedication for 700 Garfield Street and 1245 South Jefferson Street. Is there a motion to bring this to the floor for discussion and consideration?
So moved. Second.
Motion and second. Director Cutress.
Yes, thank you. If you remember from the last meeting, we discussed this briefly. As part of the expansion of Ace Hardware at 1245 South Jefferson Street, they relocated a portion of storm sewer that is owned by the city. So this easement release would be to vacate the previously dedicated easement and dedicate a new storm sewer easement over top of the newly installed storm sewer, and therefore accepting that into the city's storm sewer infrastructure, as you see there on the map. So it would be our recommendation that the board release and accept the new easement location and authorize the mayor to sign the easement document.
Thank you, Director Cutress. Further questions and discussion by board members?
Do we know what the timeline would we be looking at to do something like this?
Oh, this has already all been installed.
Oh,
The
okay.
as part of ACE's expansion, they were required to do
They already did
any
all
of
that?
the
Okay.
They installed all of the pipe work.
How big was the pipe?
That I believe is a 36-inch storm sewer. $27-inch.
There we go.
Further question or discussion? Oh, go ahead.
Same as the old.
The old one being concrete, it's actually installed as plastic pipe now, but same capacity.
Further discussion? Not hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of approval of the easement release and dedication of the new easement. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Next item under new business, we have a bid opening for the Market Street project. Is there a motion to authorize opening of bids?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Director Cutress.
Yes, thank you. This project, the Market Street Interceptor project, would be the installation of a 36-inch sewer interceptor across Market Street, across Market and State Street, starting at State and LaFontaine. Current long-term control plan installed a manhole in that intersection. It'll be heading towards the city building here across State, then across Market Street, terminating out here in the intersection of Cherry and Market Street. As part of that, we will also be doing roadway work and removal of the former interurban railroad ties that are still buried underneath the street, as well as possible water main installation as well, replacement on that as well. So I've received 2 bids today, the first being from Fox Contractors. Let me find the total page here real quick. Total project, $3,017,647.03. $647.03.
3 cents.
That is the total, and that also does include that appears to also include the water main alternate as well. Yes, that does include the water main alternate. The second bid I have is from Atlas Excavating. A lot of sheets here. Their bid is broken down a little differently here, so. I don't have the same kind of total, so. The total bid from Atlas, including also the water main alternate, is $3,495,503. That's 3,495,503. It would be my recommendation at this time that the board take these under advisement. We will review these along with the city attorney and the engineer and report back at a future Board of Works meeting with a recommendation on award.
Is there a motion to act on the recommendation to take the bids under advisement?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the recommendation to take the bids under advisement? Not hearing any, we'll call the question in favor of the recommendation and take the bids under advisement. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda, we have an SRO agreement with the Huntington County Community School Corporation between the City of Huntington and the School Corporation. Is there a motion to bring this to the floor for consideration?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. And so with us, we have Assistant Police Chief Chris McCutcheon here to present on behalf of the Police Department and highlight the changes in this year's contract.
Good afternoon. So before you, we have a proposed agreement between the school corporation and the city. It's very similar to the agreement that was signed in August of '22 by the mayor. It's exactly the same that the county just signed when they added a school resource officer here in this January. There was only one minor change in the agreement from our last one, in which that it does not include for reimbursement for a police vehicle. We had not done that in the last agreement, although it was there. We'd never pursued that because we had plenty of police cars on our lot to issue our SRO, which is still the case as we propose to add Daniel O's as the next SRO. He will be assigned out at Riverview School. Don Whitney from the Sheriff's Department is assigned to Crestview, and then our other SRO, Ben Whitman, will still be assigned at the high school. So the outline, or the agreement, just outlines what the city's responsibilities are, what the school corporation's responsibilities are. Like I said, it really mimics the last one that we signed with that one minor change. So we're asking for the board to authorize the mayor to sign this agreement today.
Do we have a motion to authorize signatures on the agreement?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion or questions by board members? Okay, not hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of approval of the SRO agreement as presented today. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Next item under new business, we have an MOU between the City of Huntington and the State Board of Accounts regarding use of office space for the State Board of Accounts in the city building. Is there a motion to bring this to the floor for discussion and consideration?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Mr. Hartberg?
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. As I said in my email, the city was approached by the State Board of Accounts asking the city to allow the state board's field examiners to use the city building as a kind of a hub to work from to conduct audits for some of the surrounding municipalities. The memorandum of understanding is really kind of basic agreement that would allow State Board to be here in the city building. There will be an exhibit that'll indicate where they will be, and it'll be on the first floor, essentially where the old police officer offices were. But we'll have that exhibit made up shortly. Happy to answer any questions anyone has.
Questions or discussion by board members?
Do they have a timeline on how long the audits should take?
So this is actually a little bit different than the audits. This is office space that they had in the community previously. Pre-2020, they had space through the school corporation in, and I forget which school they were located in. When the state went remote with its workforce due to COVID, they vacated that space, and then in the meantime, the school corporation has been utilizing that space, and so they're just looking for new office space here in the community. So some of this is so their teams have a base for audits from other communities. Some of this is just ongoing personnel operations for them. So it's an indefinite agreement, but it does allow for. They recognize that there'll be guests in the building, and that if we need to move or exchange spaces, they'll be flexible with us.
Okay.
Further question or discussion?
How long is the term of their lease?
So it runs through the end of the year, and then it will automatically be renewed unless notified. I think it requires 30 days notice to terminate.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to terminate.
Further questions? Not hearing any, we'll call the question in favor of authorizing the agreement between the city and the State Board of Accounts to provide office space for State Board of Accounts field officers. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you. The motion carries.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is accounts payable. Is there a motion authorizing payment of the bills incurred by the City of Huntington?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration? Not hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of authorizing payment of the bills incurred by the City of Huntington. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you. And is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.